Happy New Year, everybody. This is your energy update for the week of January 4th, 2021. Yay! We made it to 2021. Doesn't it feel like that a little bit? It's been a fun ride so far. And really, if you're kind of in tap with energy and kind of in tune with just what's been going on over the last maybe 3 to 5 years, 2020 maybe wasn't so much of a shock for you. I mean, none of us knew exactly what it would look like, but a lot of people had commented that they felt like something was coming on that would cause a lot of shifting, and a lot of shifting has happened. A lot of people have turned inward, have done some self-examination. There's also been tragedy. There's also been sadness. There's also been loss. And it's just been a year. That's the best way to put it. It's been a year. But of course, on my podcast, we get to be woo-woo and we get to kind of see things from the spiritual perspective, which is fun. And I love being able to share those things with you. So let's go ahead and get into a space where we can bring through some information for this week that will help you out, that will help you launch this new year. I've been working quite frequently with the 90 Subtle Energy Council of Light. And so I feel like that would be a great energy to bring through today. Thank you so much again for inviting us. We are thrilled to be here at this time when so many of you are wanting a fresh start. And we would like to impart some information regarding space, regarding your space that you create for yourself. Space as in the grid which surrounds you no matter where you go. Oftentimes you have heard speak of holding space for something or someone, and that is what we refer to. We ask you to remember to expand the space that you hold, the space which emanates from your being, to expand your grid. Expand your grid. In expanding your grid, you may find a need to distance yourself from something or someone, or several things or several people. But we would ask you to find comfort in a feeling of separation. In earthly terminology, separation can have somewhat of a negative context, a negative meaning. But we ask you and remind you to ponder on the fact that separation can have benefits. This may be a time of separation for you. At this moment, we would like you to visualize the grid surrounding you. And as you exhale, we invite you to expand the grid, taking several deep breaths. Imagining the size of the grid growing with each exhale. And you may now at this moment begin to visualize those who you would like to include in your grid, in your expanded grid, those who will resonate with the space that you are creating, those who would like to gather with you. And then we would like to draw your mind to a visual of those things and those people who maybe aren't going to resonate with that grid, that you may need to separate yourself from to a degree. This need not be an impulsive act. It may be gradual. Yet it is important as you shift. And finally, we would like to invite you to focus on a word, to close your eyes and focus on a word, not just the auditory output which we give, but also the visual which will arise in your mind as we give the word. And the word is joy. You were created to experience joy, dear ones. And at this time, we invite you to also expand your joy in life, your joy in experience, your joy in participating in both light and darkness, in both contraction and expansion. We invite you to dwell on that feeling of joy. You may feel a benefit from writing down what gives you joy. You may feel a benefit from speaking to someone about the fact that they give you joy. The more that you focus your energy on expressing joyful things, the more that joy will come back to you. And this year will be beautiful, wonderful, and all you had hoped it to be. It may not come wrapped in the package that you imagined, but we promise it will be beautiful, and it will be full of love. These are the 3 points which we wish to express to you on this update. Expand your grid. Allow yourself to separate and focus on joy. Wonderful. Those were all 3 fantastic things to focus on for this week. And please stay tuned for our upcoming episode. I'll publish that on Wednesday night, but really kind of a Thursday for some of you, depending on where you listen from. And it will be including my very first guest. I've never had a guest on my podcast. I've always done solo podcasting, so I'm thrilled to have a very dear friend of mine on the podcast, Tiffany Feedy. So I am excited for you to listen to that. So please stay tuned. It will come out later this week on Apple Podcasts and on YouTube, or wherever you may listen to this podcast. As always, the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.